Jesus' birth in Bethlehem was probably a secondary addition to the story of Jesus' life that was added well after his death. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and neither the writings of Paul nor the Gospel of Mark mention anything about Jesus being born in Bethlehem. It seems this tradition was added in order to align the story of Jesus' life better with expectations about the coming Messiah, and specifically the notion that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. And so we see it first in the Gospel of Matthew and then in the Gospel of Luke. But the two stories contradict each other, and the story in the Gospel of Luke actually contradicts itself. Both stories have to have Jesus born in Bethlehem, even though he's known as Jesus of Nazareth. In the Gospel of Matthew, Mary and Joseph are just in Bethlehem. They don't arrive in Nazareth until after they return from hiding out in Egypt to await Herod's death. In the Gospel of Luke, they start off in Nazareth and they come down to Bethlehem based on this notion that there was a census that required Joseph to return to his ancestral homeland, which is just laughably ahistorical. That didn't happen. That kind of census would entirely nuke the economy and give the Romans utterly useless data. So the two stories are attempts to try to make Jesus of Nazareth born in Bethlehem, and they go about it in two contradictory ways. The two accounts cannot be plausibly harmonized. Now, what apologists will do is make the case that it's not impossible to harmonize the two accounts. They'll gin up scenarios that are not in evidence to try to make the case that there's this tiny little sliver of not impossible so that they and their audience can feel validated in believing this thing that is implausible. Ultimately, though, their case is just that it's not impossible. But when it comes to what's most likely, what's probable, the two accounts clearly contradict each other, and Luke even contradicts itself between chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 has Jesus being born at the latest around 3 BCE. But chapter 2, which describes this census that has Joseph traveling down to Bethlehem because Quirinius imposed this census, would have to place Jesus' birth at 6 CE at the earliest, almost a decade later, because that's when Quirinius governed in Syria, and that was when he conducted the census in Judea, precisely because the Romans had deposed Archelaus and taken over direct rule of Judea and needed to know what kind of taxes to impose. Again, we can talk about what's not impossible, and that's what apologists will do. But when it comes to what's plausible, what's probable, what's most likely, it's that Luke 1 and 2 contradict each other, and it's that the Gospel of Luke contradicts the Gospel of Matthew. When it comes to what's not impossible, it's not impossible there's a horse in my backyard. But I don't need to go look because it's not really something that's up for serious debate. I know there's not a horse in my backyard, even though it's not outside the realm of possibility. Apologists are trying to make the case that until something is outside the realm of possibility, it's always up for serious debate, and it's just not. And the fit for this video is a Globemaster hoodie that my friend Josh gave me.